Today, we're going to be going through the Leeds United squad and deciding if we want to keep them, bench them, loan them, or sell them. All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Be sure to smash 200 likes on videos like this. If you do enjoy videos like this, before the video starts, get down there and smash a like. Also, subscribe if you're new. Thank you for 15,000 subscribers. More consistent Ollie Ward uploads are coming to you very, very soon. I've got stuff in the works I'm very excited for. And just comment who you would keep, who you would sell. Love seeing your comments. I'll be replying to all of you. So get down there and comment. Without further ado, let's get into the Leeds United squad. So I've got my squad down here. I'm going to go through it, who I'm deciding to keep, sell, loan, or bench. We're going to start off with the goalkeepers. We're going to start off with Illan Meslier. Meslier's had one of them seasons where, listen, he kept 18 clean sheets. Leeds United finished third, but actually didn't have the best season. He made some decent saves here and there. The Leicester save obviously pops out. Meslier, for me, is one of them players that, you know, if a massive bid came in from a big club, you can't turn it down because he is young and clubs are still looking at him. But realistically, I think Leeds United will probably keep Illan Meslier. Like I said, hasn't had the best sort of season statistically, but I think Leeds United will not get the bids that they were looking for him maybe a few seasons ago. And if you actually talk experience, Meslier probably actually does have, you know, some of the better experience. He's had 3 seasons in the Premier League, 2 now in the Championship. He's one of our more experienced heads in the squad, even though he's actually one of the younger. So it's a weird one. But for me, I'm going to keep Illan Meslier. Next up, we're going to talk Karl Darlow. For me, Karl Darlow is our number 2. So I'm going to put him on the bench, which you know what I'm going to talk about with the next guy. I'm going to talk about Christopher Clayson now. For me, this guy should have gone a few seasons ago. If we do want to, you know, sort of develop as a team, he's only a year younger than Meslier, but just hasn't had the chances because Mellier's been decent. But when Joel Robles is there, came in and has been the number 2. You know, Darlow's now number 2. So for me, just for his career, Christopher Clayson has got to go. No hard feelings, but for me, he's just got to get out of here. And we're going into defenders now. We're talking Junior Firpo, who's actually turned his season around in 2024. He played as the number 10 for the Dominican Republic last night. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. He's got braids now. He looks good. I think bids will actually come in for Junior Firpo, but I think Leeds United will do enough to keep on to Junior Firpo. And that's exactly what I think we should do as well. Kind of starts now, you know, over most. I thought he was the most improved player in 2024, and he looked like the one in the playoffs who was actually really up for it, if anyone. Next up, we're talking Ethan Ampadu. Again, going to put this straight up on the screen. You have to keep him. He is the future captain of Leeds United, or is the captain of Leeds United. And yeah, we need to see him in midfield next year. We need to see the man in midfield. We really, really do, because when he's there, he's an absolute player. He's brilliant at centre-back as well. But yeah, get Ethan Ampadu into the middle of the park. Next up, we're talking Charlie Cresswell. Charlie Cresswell has had bids from foreign clubs. It looks like he will be on his way out. And unfortunately for Charlie, it does look like we maybe should just sell him. This list is kind of like what I think is going to happen, but also my opinion. For me, Charlie Cresswell's a fantastic player, but you can't keep sending him out on loan, and he's not getting a lot of starts. Him and Farker have had disagreements. So I think get your money's worth for Charlie Cresswell. Next up, we're talking Captain Cooper, Liam Cooper. And I think, you know, he's been offered a 1-year extension. So I could genuinely see him just kind of being on the bench, being that squad player that, you know, he has been all season this season. So for me, Liam Cooper, he's much more than just a player. He's a man for behind the scenes as well. You've got to chuck him on the bench. Next up, we're talking a rat. We're talking a loanee. We're talking Max Wober. And it looks like Borussia Mönchengladbach are not able to afford Max Wober. So it looks like he is going to be returning to Leeds United. Where does he stand? Do we sell him? Do we loan him? For me, I've actually just chucked him on the bench. Max Wober, I think, could be a good addition to the team. Again, I don't have this mad opinion about the rats who jumped. You know, when the going gets tough, I did at first. If you take emotions out of it, I think Max Wober would be a decent addition to have on the bench, because centre-back is definitely where we kind of always need to have faces. You don't know how good Pascal's going to be. You don't know if we're going to get Joe Rodon back. Ampadu, we want him to play in the middle of the park. You're left with Cooper, really. So you need a Max Wober, and for me, chuck him on the bench. Again, we're talking loanies. Again, we're talking Rasmus Christensen. Looks like Roma do not want to sign him. But for me, I don't want to have him either. The softest hard man that is going, Rasmus Christensen. If we could get a bit of money out of him, I would sell him. Again, probably could be a decent addition on the bench because we do need right backs. Obviously, Connor Roberts going and or gone, sorry. And obviously, we want Archie Gray to be playing more in the middle of the park, but we know Archie can do a job wherever you put him. But for me, Rasmus, get out of here. Talking of Pascal Struijk, for me, you've got to keep him. Obviously, he's injured right now, but this is a player you've got to keep. He's a youngster. Again, a future captain probably for Leeds United and a quality centre-back on his day. The next one, we're talking Jamie Shackleton. But for me, I would have sold him if Leeds United didn't offer him a new contract. So for me, looks like we're just going to have to chuck him on the bench for another season. I feel like he's one of them players that's still in sort of the frame of, where we were about 4 or 5 years ago. I think you need to move players on like that, and you'll see down my list players I am getting rid of. Next up, we're talking Sam Byram. Listen, I like Sammy, and I thought he had a good start to the season. Thought he had a decent season all round. I don't think he gets near the starting 11 next season. I hope he doesn't. No offense to Sam Byram. I hope he's a solid bench player, but he's a good one to get on a free. I'm happy for him getting a 1-year extension. It was a sensible move by the club, but for me, no more than the bench. Cody Drama's next up. You got to sell him. You do have to sell him. He's been offered a new contract, but for me, I just don't think it's working. How many managers have we come in trying to, fit him into a system? It doesn't work. And he seems to do well at other clubs but Leeds. For me, you just got to sell him. Again, could be a decent addition on the bench. We could loan him out. He's not a starter for me right now. So I'm going to say get rid of Cody Drama. Moving into the midfield now. We're talking Glenn Kamara. Again, had a quietly underrated season, I thought. But I'm actually going to drop him to the bench. I think we do need to bring in, another midfielder alongside Ampadu, or you could play Archie there, or Gruever's still there. But Kamara, is still a very, very good, decent addition, and probably, a reliable source for Daniel Farker. So he's not going anywhere, but I just don't know if he'll get, as much first-team football as he did last year. Next up is Darko JB. Yes, he's still at the club. I'll send him out on loan again. I really like the look of Darko JB. I just still think he's too young to be fitting and breaking into this starting 11. But you say that, Archie Gray, has done it. So maybe Darko JB isn't actually as good as I think. He went on loan to Plymouth last year. Done decent there. Didn't set the world alight. But yeah, send him out on loan again. This one speaks for itself. Rocker, send it back out on loan. It looks like he will be going to Real Betis again. But he's one that I wouldn't have minded in the Championship, but I don't think he would have dropped down to the Championship personally. But Mark Rocker, yeah, send him back out on loan to Real Betis. Jack Harrison is one that I would just sell, outright sell, get some money from him for about 10 to 12 million pounds from Everton. That's what they're looking to get for him. Yeah, got no real things with Jack Harrison. Don't really want to go back to Jack Harrison. Next up, we're talking a key man that done so much for Leeds United last year. We're talking Daniel James, who had, a quietly very good season. I think he got something like 14 goals and 8 assists or something decent. And he spent the majority of the time on the bench near the back end of the season. Got that career sort of defining injury as well in the playoff final. And I think you have to keep this man. You actually have to maybe start him. I'd love Dan James to, tear apart the Championship for a full season. And hopefully he can do that next season. Next up, we're talking the man who looks like he's going to continue his future at Leeds United. We're talking Archie Gray. You got to keep him. You got to start him. Right back, centre mid, doesn't matter. You got to play Archie Gray. Next up, I'm talking Ilya Gruev, who's wanted by Borussia Dortmund. Again, he's one of them ones that I think if a bid came in from Borussia Dortmund, 10 to 15 million pounds, I'm not turning that down personally. Leeds United would be making around 10 million profit on that. Gruev's a good player. But is there better out there? 100%. But if bids don't come in, and we reject bids, fair enough, I would keep him. And I think he could still definitely get into the starting 11, but we'll just see. Like I said, if a bid comes in, it wouldn't be the end of the world if he went, I personally believe. Let me know your comments down below. Next up, Sam Greenwood struggled a bit at Borough. He started off well, scored a free kick, I believe, against Leicester. And then after that, he hasn't really done too much since. I would sell him. Next up, a big discussion I know is Brendan Aronson. It looks like he's in Farker's plans for next year. For me, he doesn't start, but he does get on that bench right now. I think he could tear up the Championship. If we give this bloke a Pure Gym membership, he could be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, trust the process in Brendan Aronson. We're now going on to the attackers. We're talking Joel Piro, a man who scored goals for fun, even though he didn't play a lot of games for Leeds United. I would bench him. He's not going to be my out-and-out, number 9. I do believe Leeds United need to sign a number 9. But I chuck Piro on the bench. The man still scores goals. He knows how to score goals. But yeah, still probably not good enough to lead the line for Leeds United. And talking of number 9, talking of leading the line, we're talking Patrick Bamford. And for me, you have to sell Patrick Bamford. I just don't think we just can't keep relying on him. Injuries. He scored something like 16, 17 goals in 4 seasons. Yes, he's been riddled with injuries, and people will come at you with the facts saying, Leeds United create more when Bamford's in the side. Doesn't matter. He's a number 9. He's your most paid player. He doesn't score goals. I would personally get rid of him. I tweeted out, whatever division we are in, we can't rely on Bamford, and we can't. So Bamford, for me, has to go. Congratulations on his wedding, though. I still like him. I don't hate the person. I just don't think he's a very good footballer. I don't think he should be leading the line for Leeds United. Next up, we're talking Summerville. I put sell. Obviously, I don't want to sell Summerville, but this is a realistic one. People will come in for Summerville. Summerville will most likely be leaving. Same with this man as well, Willie Nonto. It looks like he'll most likely be leaving too. Syria is the place that are looking at him right now. Again, similar to Summerville, wouldn't really want to sell these players, but it doesn't look like they're going to be staying for too much longer. Next up, we're talking Jorginho Rutter, a man who tore the championship apart last year. Needs to find where the back of the net is, and then we've got a hell of a player. The reason I keep him, because, he is a fantastic player. You've got to keep him, but also Leeds United spent over £30 million for him. There's no way people are bidding in for that. Leeds United can't lose money, so we'd keep him anyway. I don't think people would, realistically, we wouldn't be getting rid of Jorginho Rutter. But yeah, he's a fantastic player, obviously, and you have to keep him. And a couple more players now. I've only got 2 more left. I think I've missed out a few, but, these are the majority main ones. We're talking Joffy now. Again, similar to Cody Drama, you have to get rid of him personally, because I think so many managers have tried to fit him into a system. What's best for Joffy? But the thing is, the team's bigger than one player. And you see Joffy, he scored important goals for Leeds United over the last few seasons, but still just not getting ahead of Bamford, Pirot, Joseph. He's dropping down the pecking order. I think he needs to leave Leeds United. And last but not least, we've spoke about him, Mateo Joseph. I would bench him. A lot of people are saying he's got to start the number 9. He's got to start the number 9 next year. I don't think Farke has the trust in him. I personally haven't seen enough. I thought he was brilliant against Chelsea. And I know Daniel Farke's down to that because he hasn't given him a lot of game time. But personally, I don't think you can start him as a number 9. I really wouldn't. I think he'll be a massive impact off the bench again this season. But you never know. We might have to lead the line. I don't know what Leeds United are going to do. So I think after I calculated that all up, I think I've kept about 8 starting 11 players. We need a striker. We need maybe another midfielder. We need a centre half, definitely. Will that be Joe Rodon? Who knows? If you guys agree with my thoughts, if you don't, get a comment in. I want to read your comments. Let me know who you would keep, who you would sell. I want to see all the comments. I want to see the likes. And like I said, consistent Ollie Ward should be coming to your screens very, very soon. I've been Ollie Ward. You guys have been excellent, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheery. Oh.